Hello and welcome to the Scott Ballard Show right here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Cory Prudoehl, joined as always by head women's basketball coach Scott Ballard. Coach, good weekend on the road for you last weekend with a pair of wins, different wins. You eked one out 64-61 against St. Cloud State on Friday, and then kind of a dominating performance on Saturday against Minnesota Duluth, a 20-point win on that one. Kind of talk me through the two big wins on the road.
Well, like you mentioned, the St. Cloud game turned into a nail-biter. We overcame foul trouble in the first half. We had 4 starters with 2 fouls early in the first half. We overcame poor free throw shooting. I think we were 8 of 16 or 17 from the line in the first half. We overcame, some bad breaks that didn't go our way. So we had a lot of adversity in that St. Cloud game, and our bench was really huge for us that night, and they were Saturday night as well, but because it wasn't as close of a game, it wasn't as magnified as much. But our bench had to play half of the first half, and they actually extended the lead. We were up 9 at halftime, and then we hit a 3 to start the second half, and we're up 12, but then St. Cloud started making some difficult shots against our defense, and we missed some easy scoring opportunities. We had a few turnovers mixed in. It kind of turned into a really rough game with regards to what was being allowed to go on checking cutters and putting your hands on the ball handler and the shooter and that kind of thing. But it was consistent the whole game. Mm-hmm. So we had to get used to that and make some adjustments. But I was proud of our team in that game for how much toughness that they showed, despite struggling offensively. And matter of fact, we lost the lead and we're down 1 with a couple minutes to go. But we got to the free throw line 4 times and made all of our free throws. The last 2 minutes and 11 seconds, we had to make 4 defensive stops to win the game. Mm-hmm. It seemed like we were on defense for 10 possessions in a row. Yeah. It wasn't that much, but just because of how close the game was and the time involved, it was very intense. But we played good defense, the last 4 possessions and held them without fouling. Got the rebound. They had to foul us with a couple seconds left, and we made both of them to put us up 3, and they dang near threw in a half-court shot. But we learned a lot from that game and felt like we probably dodged a bullet. Mm-hmm. Kind of like when we played Bemidji. But, it doesn't matter how many you win by or how you win or if it's pretty or ugly. This time of the year is just like find a way to win, survive, move on to the next one. And then the next day against Duluth, we played an awesome first half, only had 6 turnovers. Duluth is all about playing in your face. They don't switch on anything. They try to fight through everything. They really crash offensive boards, and we knew that going into it, but they were a challenge to try to contain on the boards. But our defense was outstanding that night, and we were up 15 at halftime, and second half they got it down to 12, but then we had a couple runs that just busted the game open, and it ended up being a fun game for us because it turned into an easy win, which you don't expect. Everybody got to play, made for a fun ride home, and it gives us a lot of confidence. And going into the last 4 games of the regular season, we got 2 more really difficult games on the road this weekend. But I see some things starting to develop with our team. Offensively, I think we're starting to play better. The 2 main things that we feel like we need to prove that we can consistently be good at is taking care of the basketball and boxing out. And even though we out-rebounded both opponents this weekend, we still gave up too many second-chance opportunities, whether they cashed in on them or not. But we've got to get better at those 2 things. Another thing I was really pleased with was how many times we got to the free throw line in both games. We knew both teams were very aggressive defensively with their man-to-man, very physical, but we didn't just try to pass the ball around on the perimeter and let the clock run down. We were in attack mode, and I can have patience and live with some of our turnovers because we're being aggressive rather than being timid. And those are good things to see because we're going to need that a lot more as the season goes on.
Yep, as mentioned, 2 big road wins.
Yeah.
2 more coming up now this weekend against two big time rivals of yours in Minnesota State, Mankato, and Concordia St. Paul. So you'll be back a little bit later this week as we'll talk about those games.
Okay.
But before that, we'll sit down with one of the stars of the team, Tara Roloff. So she talks about her team's performance so far this year, right here on the Scott Ballard Show on the Warrior Sports Network.